Welcome to the Good Good Podcast. I'm your host, Dee Talley, mama, licensed acupuncturist, herbalist, and embodiment coach. Here we dive deep into the realms of energy, consciousness, awareness, empowerment, and personal transformation to help you create a more vibrant and juicy life. Hello, my beautiful people. It is me, Dee. I'm back. Guess who's back? Back again. So, I am glad to be here. Welcome. This is the Good Good Podcast, and I am your host, Dee Talley. Yo, it is really fucking hot in this bedroom, and I just had headphones on and I was trying to record, and I got so agitated that I ripped them off my head and threw them across the room. So I'm not recording with headphones. So trust the process, baby. I am sweating, and there's no AC in this upstairs bedroom, and it's 90 degrees in here. I'm sweating bullets. But when the messages come through, and it's time for me to talk to you. So today's show is about self-abandonment in micro moments. Okay, this topic is near and dear to my heart because it piggybacks off of energetic protection, which is my jam, right? As an energy worker, this is my jam. Now, micro moments are occurring all day, every day. Whether or not you have the belief that this is true, this is true. Micro moments are occurring at all times. And we have decisions where our bodies are communicating with us. And again, this is whether or not you have awareness of that. Our bodies are always communicating with us, right? They're knocking on the door. They're like, hey, it's me. Normally they communicate with us through symptomology. However, if you do a lot of embodiment work, or this excites you, or you dive a little bit deeper, you can often get so much information from your body, not necessarily in symptomology, but through your senses, through your sense felt experience. Okay. Now, when a micro moment comes up, and when I say micro moment, I really want to get in the weeds here. We are talking about the split second when your body gives you information and you hear it but deny it. Example, somebody says to you, hey, aren't you so excited for the party this weekend? And you can see they're clearly excited, right? And you, in a split second, comes up and your body is like, no, I don't want to go. But instead of saying that, you say, yeah, I can't wait. Really happy to see everyone. Right? You probably say it with a little bit more of enthusiasm than I'm saying it, but you get the picture. It's happening all the time around you. Now, the problem with this is over time, these micro moments start to add up. And that self-erosion, the lines of communication with your body start to get eroded. And when your body is like, oh, they're not listening, we just go and get louder. Okay. That is what happens. The body really just gets louder when you stop listening. And this is when true dis-ease, true disharmony, true illness occurs. When we have gone a long ass time not listening to those dang micro moments that we should have been listening to. Other examples are you take on a project at work that you said yes to and you knew you didn't have the bandwidth for. You said yes to having sex with your partner when you thought that you were feeling it, and now your system is saying, no, I don't really want it, but you go forth anyway. Somebody is making a joke about you and you don't think it's funny, but you laugh. We're talking about ways in which you are keeping yourself agreeable. You are keeping the peace. I'm putting in quotations if you can't see me. The peace. You're keeping the peace. But you're denying yourself. The cost of denying yourself is imagine you are a bucket, okay? Every time you deny yourself in a micro moment, you put a teeny tiny hole in that bucket. And those holes start to add up where your bucket can no longer hold anything. It's hemorrhaging your precious, precious resources of your energy. Now, this is what we call lack of energy protection. I mean, your bucket ain't full. Nobody's looking out for your bucket. You, baby, are the only one who's going to look out for your bucket. You are the one that's going to bolster that. You are the one that's going to keep it in checks and balances. A symptom of this is low energy, low life force, low libido, baby. So no, you are not going to have a zest for life. You are not going to show up full on in your pleasure. You are not going to be vibrant and juicy and, all the swagger when you haven't prioritized desires. 1, 2, you're hemorrhaging your energy all over the place. 3, it's basically glorified and rewarded in society when you literally, especially if you're a mom, take care of every other thing except for yourself. It happens in women so much. We were conditioned to be all the things, agreeable and accommodate everyone in our families, put everybody else's needs. So why all of a sudden would it be okay for you to show up in a sexual space, in your bedroom, wherever you are, wherever you do the dang thing, you hear me, and you've denied your needs all day? Why then would you show up and think, yeah, I'm going to do it now. I'm going to put my desires first. I'm going to put my pleasures first. You can see how those two things do not add up, correct? In order for us to stay vibrant and juicy and alive, we have to be really, really close to the embodied information that is flowing in our system. And this happens, like I said, in micro moments. This also happens in a self-care exercise body way. When we push forward on our workouts, when our body is saying, maybe even screaming, yo, too much, this is too much. There's a difference between pushing yourself in a healthy way versus pushing yourself in a way that you can clearly feel the communication and your body's like, no, 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 no. And you do it just because either you said you did or you committed to this class or you, whatever it is. And not only that, but there's another kind of icky thing that happens in exercise culture where we almost talk to ourselves in a really damaging, toxic way of do it, complete it. What are you, a wussy? It's just some of that shit is just too toxic, really. In other ways for self-care, it's okay, you're hungry. It's 11:30, but it's not noon. You deny yourself lunch until you think it's lunchtime. That's another one. Or you ignore your symptomology because you don't have time to deal with it, right? When you ignore your body just gets louder. Other examples of self-abandon in micro moments is accessibility. And this often comes through in through our phones, right? So your phone is ringing, you look at it, you think to yourself, gosh, I really don't want to talk to this person. You answer it even though you know that it's going to be a draining phone call and you don't actually really want to be talking. Or just accessibility in read receipts and how heightened that can make people feel anxious. Oh my God, they saw that I read it. I need to respond I need to respond immediately. First off, baby, turn your read receipts off. Second, respond only when you feel full up. When you feel like you are able to come to the table and bolster your own self, your own energy. There are no rules that say you need to be accessible to your friends and family and your work at all times. That is just wild and crazy. This is another one that really, I made a big list of examples of self-abandoned micro moments, and I've probably done every single one of these, but this one is one that I I definitely did. And this was back before my sort of pleasure journey of reawakening, of like really noticing how to seek pleasure. And when I say pleasure, I don't mean like sex necessarily. I mean small pleasures like your sweet cup of coffee, or those flowers that you passed on your walk, or something because it feels frivolous. Like, oh, I can't buy myself flowers because it's just a waste of money. I'm going to challenge that, because if you deny yourself those small pleasures, micro moments, right, over and over and over and over again, what are you actually communicating with yourself? You are communicating that you don't value your own self pleasure. That is what that is over time, right? So if we actually do the quote unquote frivolous thing, and it brings us so much joy and so much sense of aliveness, that to me feels like it's worth the money. It's worth the money because of how much it adds up. And then maybe if you haven't denied yourself all of these small little pleasurable moments, when the time comes where your partner's like, yo, you want to go do it? You're like, yes. You can see how these energy leaks that occur really impact our body's ability to show up in full on vibrancy, in full on abundance, right? Now, why does this happen? It ain't a surprise. It happens because when we are disconnected from ourselves, we become better consumers. We we seek outside of ourselves. We try to purchase things to make us whole. It just potentiates capitalism. It potentiates the patriarchy, right? None of these are like new things for us to talk about. And we cut ourselves off from autonomy and from our self-agency and our decision making of what is true for us in our own selves, in our own being. I can't tell you how many times with patients in general, somebody will come in and they'll say, well, I saw on TV that coffee's bad. I saw that I should be taking magnesium. I see that I really should be focused on plant protein, not animal protein, right? And these conversations we just continually have over and over and over and over again is about coming home to oneself. Your body has the blueprint. It's already signed, sealed, delivered. I mean, yes, it can change and shift with certain dynamics, certain illnesses, age, yada, yada. But it comes back to these micro moments, these little experiments where you try something and see, hey, how'd that go? Hey, how'd that go? Hey, how'd that go? So for one person system, coffee, one cup of coffee might feel like fucking chef's kiss. Great. Loved it. Felt great. No problems. For somebody else, one single 8-ounce cup of coffee can spin you into anxiety, into panic, into mania, like truly. And the person who has the rule book, the person who has the master plan is your body. I mean, is God divine, creatrix, all the things, right? But made you as a microcosm of the macrocosm where you actually hold that blueprint. So it's not good enough to say, oh, I saw on the news that I should have animal protein, not plant protein, so that's what I'm going to do. When animal protein causes you to rip disgusting farts in Walmart while you're waiting for your pickup order. Like, right? That's a funny example, but it's true. Like, it is the micro moments that will dictate that level of self-trust. Your body wants you to listen. Your body is there for you. It's housing you. It is your temple. It is the way in which you experience this life. It wants you to listen, and it's talking to you all the time, all the time, all the time. And so when we erode that line of communication, we erode trust with ourselves. We have a leaky bucket. We have low desire, and society glorifies it and says, good for you. You're selfless. That's wonderful. It's not wonderful, actually. So when you start to energetically shift this and you start plugging all those holes, that bucket starts to actually hold. And I don't want to minimize how uncomfortable that might feel when you have to say no early on, right? And you feel it, you have body awareness, and you say it. I don't want to minimize how uncomfortable that is. As long as you are following your body's truths, and these you might feel are ugly truths, this is about your body's ability to protect you, to serve you, to love you, right? So it will, if you have eroded that self-trust, it will feel very uncomfortable when you first start to open that line of communication. These truths might feel wild and inconvenient and things that you are very uncomfortable with. But once you start to see those threads, you can't actually unsee it. You can't see all the ways in which you have self-abandoned. And that is what I call starting to wake up, starting to come home. It takes time to rebuild that self-connection muscle. And the easiest way is to just start noticing what is one, even just one micro moment in a day where you noticed, oh, and you said something. What was it? Did you stay close to home? Did you speak your truth? Did you deny your truth? Now, we don't have to get into the nitty-gritty of the reasons why you override your truth in terms of moment to moment. Oh, I said I would go to the party, so that's just what I'll do, right? It's you who has to put your head down on the pillow at night and live with the consequences, where you are living out the adventure of your life right now, right? You and only you, not me for you, you for you, right? And so as long as it's you are okay. And what's interesting is, in my experience, when you start to listen and hear that communication and speak true, your head hits that pillow and you're out, baby. You don't have to be spinning around and around and around. Oh no, it's like a true level of peace that can occur internally when we start to actually live our truth and actually come into authenticity with ourselves. So, what is one thing that you said yes to when your body said nerp? And you know what? It's worth saying, because I said it before, I'll say it again. When you have this micro moment, try your very hardest to pause. Very rarely is it like a true emergency where you need to get the answer out immediately, right? There is typically time and space for you to pause. And it is in that pause where this automatic process that maybe was occurring, where you were self-abandoning, and then the pause actually gives you the container, gives you the ability to actually come home, to actually be come closer to truth and asking yourself and asking your body, okay, I was just asked to take on this extra project at work. Body, what do you think about that? And then pause and see what comes up. Even if you've been through years and years and years and years of self-abandon, for years, your body is not shut off. It's still there, and it's, even if it's a whisper, that counts. Even if it's a whisper. From an energetic awareness perspective, each micro moment is actually a checkpoint where there is a choice. You can either conserve it and protect it, or you can leak it. You can anchor into your body's truth, or you can pour yourself out for the comfort of others. And when those leaks go on for long enough, your cup is dry. Your vagine is dry. You feel me? There's nothing wrong with your body. Because, again, how could you show up hot and ready for desire when you've been saying no to yourself all fucking day? Okay, I want to close with a poem because I'm a corny bitch. We all know this. Okay. This is a poem. It's called Wild Geese by Mary Oliver. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clean blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over, announcing your place in the family of things. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. And, while I'm on it, this is a smaller snapshot in a larger whole of a course that I have been creating for the past year and a half. And that course is Energetic Awareness Foundations. And at least that is the entry point, Energetic Awareness Foundations. And I'm really excited to be able to bring you this training, and there will be a lot more of that unfolding through the next few months, and I just feel very honored to be able to bring you this course that I have been working so hard on, and I know is going to change lives, especially of people who are just coming into themselves, who are just dipping their toe into the realms of energy awareness, of energy protection, of embodiment, of leading a vibrant and juicy life. Like, this is where we come home to ourselves. And it's not a process that is taught to us. And it's a process that I have learned throughout the years, and I will be teaching soon. I just wanted to say how excited I am to be bringing this to you, and I can't wait to say more about it as we go. Okay, that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next episode.